Okay, you guys, are you here? I think my stand is too high tonight. How is everybody? Okay, we are back with another live session. I hope this is correct. There we are. Okay, we're back with another live session tonight. So how's everybody doing? It's been quite the day. Okay, wait, why is these reading upside down now? Hold on. Let me turn this for a second. Why is it doing this? Okay, hi you guys. Oh my God, look at this. Why is it doing this? Let's do this. Nope, now it's flipped around at the mess in my house. Great. Hold on. There. Okay, so why are your things going up like this? Okay, hold on here. Every night, right? It's like I'm the crazy, unprepared. Okay, there. I can see you there. I'm going to figure this out. I swear to God, I will figure this out. I guess we're going to do this. Can we talk about Bill Gates? Yeah, well, we certainly can. Turn your phone. Okay, that's kind of what I did. Turn my phone. Okay, rotate device back. Okay, that's weird. Something is, I'm sorry, you guys. Oh, I'm cracking up. I'm now holding this till I can figure out how to do this. It says something is locked on the thing. Okay. Oh goodness. Thank you, Sherry. I can see you right up close there. I have no idea why this won't. Oops. Look, we keep going back to over there, the mess that lives back there. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to figure out how to make this work correctly. Okay, so let me try it again. Forgive me for doing this for 5 seconds. I'm so annoying. I know this. Orientation is locked. What does that mean? Maybe this way. Nope, still locked. Does anybody know what orientation is locked means? Because I don't know. Okay, so, okay, wait, restart. Restart what? Restart the video? Oh no, should I restart? Nope. Okay, wait, leave it. I'm trying to leave it. Wait, you have to turn the phone to landscape. Okay, where do I do that? Don't do it there. Oh my God, so annoying. Sorry, I'm so locked in landscape. Okay, well, where is that? Is that in my thing? How annoying. And there's a button. Yeah, I wish I could find these damn buttons. Swipe the phone up. Okay, here I go. All right, menu. I can't even figure this out. Let me go over here. I'm going to keep talking to you. Okay, so as I do my ridiculous live stream. All right, so let's go over here. I'm going into YouTube on my computer while I'm talking to you because for some reason I'm mental. Okay, right corner, swipe down. All right, let's try that. That seems good. Okay, there's a lock there. Oh, what does that mean? Wait, portrait. Oh, thank you. Okay, wait, portrait orientation lock on. No, I want it off. Off, portrait. Okay. All right, so can we do this now? No, it says it's still locked. Oh my God. Let's try it again. Okay, I'm trying. Portrait lock is on. Portrait lock is off. Okay. All right. So annoying, you guys. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm so annoyed at this. I'm so annoyed. I can't unlock it. If you could please help me. Somebody, you guys told me, is your rotation on your phone? I don't even know what that is. I went to the thing, scrolled down, and I guess it is. So I'm almost tempted. I've got to go over here. It's on my phone. I've got to YouTube this. Now I'm annoying the shit out of myself. I know, it's okay. I now have to put this so I don't hold it. All right, you guys, how is everybody? Okay, Julian Assange. Talk about him save Julian Assange. I'm pretty sure they probably already killed him somewhere in the back. I can't find a kid right now because I had this last night. This should not be an issue, right? I literally had this last night. It's going to piss me the freaking hell off. Okay, so I'm going to hold this like right here, right now. Okay, so my first story for the night is, okay, thanks, Katie. I see you. I can see you like this close. Okay, my first thing for the night, thanks, Mike. For the night is I went to the post office. So I was at the post office and I had to drop off some stuff for you guys, right? And I went into the post office. And so there's one guy in front of me and I have all these packages I'm mailing. And so he's probably 10 feet away. And so the guy's 10 feet away, and I'm like, and he like I'm going over to get a envelope thing over here, and he's like, he moves away like my head's on fire, and I'm looking at him, and I just start laughing at him like, I want to go like, what's wrong with you? So every time I moved, because now I'm being a brat, so I would step forward in the post office line, like closer like this, and he'd move farther away. So this was fun for me. I'm like, he's freaked out. Oh, thank you, Cindy. I'm like, this guy's like freaked out, right? Oh, Michelle, thank you so much. And I was cracking up laughing. So he goes up to the lady at the counter, and they're literally this close. Like they can't be 6 feet apart. They've got to be 3 feet apart. And he's talking to her. She's not wearing a mask. And I'm like, oh, I see. It's okay to be close to her. But me, no, right? I said she could have the virus. I got in so much trouble in the post office. Anyway, that was my fun thing. I am a Leo. I know. Now I'm going to hook up my thing over there so I can talk to you guys properly, because I don't know why the freaking lock is on this phone. It's going to make me distracted and crazy. When will everything return to normal? Do you mean with my phone? Stella! Oh my God. I'm sorry. Okay, Blanca. Okay, that name. Oh yeah, this is Stila Purple. It's called Plum Eyeshadow. Daniela, thank you so much. Yeah, this is from Stila, and I got it at Ulta, and it's their shiny eyeshadow. I freaking love it. You just go like this, and it makes you kind of look like you're, I don't know, waking up from a fun weekend. Okay, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, so, okay, so as I'm holding my phone now like a loser because I can't set it, I can't find my kids. Oh, okay. I'm over it. Anyway, so I wanted to start talking. I can't even slow the chat. Just give up on asking me that because it never works. Now, if I turn the phone sideways again, you're going to be so pissed off. So guess what happened last night? Okay, so what happened last night? And I'm moving you. Oh, you guys are going to say, Stella, I'm moving you over to my thing over here, except now I switched it to go sideways. So okay, so last night after I finished the video, I went to boil some eggs over there, wherever, over there, over my little studio over there. I went to boil some eggs before I drove out last night because of protein, and my head was spinning, and so something was banging on the pot. I put the eggs in, I went to the bathroom, came back, and something's banging, and I'm like, what is this? And so I heard the name Steve, and I'm like, who's Steve? This is in my head. This goes on in my head. I'm like, who's Steve, right? So then I heard very quietly, listen to this, McQueen. I fucking heard the name Steve and then McQueen. I can't slow the chat, you guys. I know I can't even find the button on my phone or on the computer. Anyway, I heard Steve and then McQueen. And I was like, no way. So I looked his birthday up. His birthday was yesterday. And I'm like, this is fucking amazing. I have Steve McQueen bugging me, not bugging me. He's so cute. I realize he'd be like 100 now, but that is my type, right? The older man thing. Anyway, that wasn't my point. I did a video tonight on Steve McQueen, which I'm going to edit and put up after this. Okay, so I'm going to put this. Thanks, you guys. Oh my God. You guys are so sweet. I'm now getting you ready to go over to my tripod so I can like make my hands. I know Steve McQueen, wasn't he the most beautiful? So I did this whole thing on his astral. I'm doing this like, I'm cracking up. Okay, see, I'm putting you into my little tripod sideways because I can't fucking figure this out. I will ask my son, okay? I will, I promise, I swear. Not that anybody knows. There. Okay, now, look. Okay, so anyway, and it's so cold out. Okay, so super cold. Let's go this way. Can we go this way? Okay, now I'm weird. There you go. My videos, just forgive me. Just know that I'm batshit crazy. And I'm literally do this so poorly that it's amusing, and now it's going to wobble. Okay, so anyway, Steve McQueen showed up, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Amazing. So this is probably going to fall right on everybody right now. And hold on. Okay, so I will do some astrology. Hold on. I will do some astrology tonight because, okay, let's just do, I don't even know. Wait, what are we doing? All right. This is so fucking annoying. Okay, there. Okay, there. Life is good now. We're whatever. We're here. We're here. We're going to make go with it, right? All right. So The guy in the post office was so pissed because I went close to him with my germs. Okay, so let's talk astrology. I'm going to talk astrology for a second with you guys because this is some homework we can focus on for the new beginner astrologers, the people who don't know much about astrology, and the people that are totally like well versed on astrology. All right, so I'm born on August 13th, 1977. I wish I was born on August 13th, 1977, but I'm born August 15th, 1966, which makes me approximately 10 years older than you. That's why I'm not liking it right now. Okay, so there's three things that I talk about when I first do an astrology chart. Leo, Libra, August 4th. Okay, August 4th is a good point. Always fours on any month. The 4 of any month. There's a substantial loss of father with the 4 on any month. Now, if you put a Leo in the mix of it, all the fire signs are masculine. They're masculine fire signs, which means they're always trying to get daddy's attention for one reason or another. But I'm going to stop jumping ahead into medium astrology and go, I love Sages. My Keithy's a Sag. Sag rising is as hyper as hell. My friend Maya is a Sag rising. She's the one that I drag in the middle of the night to go hiking. Met her on a trail. She didn't know me from Adam. I'm surprised she thought like, wait, I don't fucking know how to adjust the speed. I give up. I can't, I can't do it. Okay, so the three things that everybody needs to know about their chart. What makes you, me, if we're all Leos, different? Because not all Leos, we could all be born on the same day for an entire year, 600 of us, 6,000 of us. What makes us all different? Because not all Leos are the same. Obviously, some of us are quieter, not many of us, but some are quieter, some are louder, some are smarter, some are more physical, some are more bookish. So what is the difference? The difference is we have, of course, 12 different things in an astrology chart, but in our signs, we have under our Leo sun sign, you want to divide your sun sign into 3 different segments. Each sign goes from 0 to 30. So are you in the first 10 degrees, the second 10 degrees, or the third 10 degrees? That's the first difference. The second difference is what is your moon sign? Because with the sun, you have the moon. The third difference between everybody and the thing that really stands out astrologically is your rising sign. The rising sign is what all of us are comfortable expressing to the world publicly, okay? To the world publicly until we grow into our sun sign, unless our sun, moon, and rising are all the same, and then we're pretty much the same, which is the case in my chart. I have sun, moon, and rising all in the same sign, so I didn't have to grow into me, I just was me. Most people and most signs have a rising sign to protect them from throwing themselves out there, astrologically speaking. So the rising sign for the first 40 years of your life is what you're comfortable with projecting to the public. So you could be a hyper fire sign person, Aries, Leo, or Sag, and you could have a Pisces rising, which would make you quieter. It would make you focus on things more etherically. It would make you focus on all kinds of things, but it would not make you be aggressive unless other things kind of showed up differently. So your sun, moon, and your rising. So here is your homework. Okay, Gemini woman and a Libra man relationship. Okay, seems good. Gemini woman has many personalities, so she can get along with the Libra man who needs you to be all those different personalities in order to be with them. Libra is all about, they say Leo is all showy. Libra is all showy. No offense to the Libras out there, but Libras want to be loved. So if you can show a Libra man love, and by the way, Libra men are the smoothest in the zodiac. Libra rising. Libra rising is different than Libra sun, but Libra sun men are super smooth, and they're kind of the flirty sluts of the zodiac. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. I just don't know how else to describe it. They are kind of the ones that are always flirting and always looking. Now, Libra rising is different. Libra rising wants to appear like that while they're not like that behind the scenes, okay? So Libra rising behind the scenes is different. But here's the homework we're going to work on astrologically. If you don't know your time of birth and your mother was drugged to high hell because a human being was coming out of her hoo-ha and it was going to hurt and the doctor stuck something in her veins just to make her not lose her mind, okay? Especially if the baby was probably more than 2 pounds. That's all some scary shit, right? So I remember screaming for drugs because I was at home. So I was like, what kind of idiot does that? This idiot. Anyway, if you don't have your time of birth, you can find your you can actually find your birth certificate from um, your what do you call it? God, City Hall, wherever you are, and it's called it's the geographical birth certificate. So that's the longer birth certificate with your time, your probably your score, like were you a happy baby, a healthy baby, you know, your APGAR score, they put that on there. Like were you functioning or did they have to send you somewhere and plump you up or whatever it is they do. So you want to find your time of birth. And you do that, it might take you 6 weeks, cost you $40, could cost you $50. Then when you do that, you want to go to one of the free services. I believe I have one on my website. I haven't even looked at it. I don't even know what the hell my website looks like now, but I think under astrology, there's somewhere where you can put in your time and your place and your date of birth and run your chart. So you want to know your sun, your moon, and your rising, because that's really the beginning of understanding who you are astrologically. Let me explain something about astrologically. Astrologically is the soul's potential of expression, because we come to do work, even though this is a fun planet and there's many things to do. So many things to do in so little freaking time, right? So we come to do work and we can't wander too far off our path, because if we wander too far off our path, our soul will have to come back, and we don't want to come back to the prison planet. It's my new name. I plagiarized it from someone else, but I am calling it a freaking prison planet. It's a prison planet. So you want to know your sun, moon, and your rising. So let me give you a quick rundown of a chart, very quick rundown. I'll tell the Sylvia Brown story again for the third time. I roll my eyes, but I do actually have experience with that, but I'm not telling it now. I can't get distracted because I'm calmer tonight, believe it or not. Okay, so your sun sign tells you the essence of who you are. So you came in with a group of people under the same sign to experience something karmically as a group. Because the way an astrology chart works is it works from a first house to a second house to a third house. So it's like you're diving into different lessons around the chart wheel. So the sun sign is your group karma on a whole, and it's the essence of your expression. But it is also the masculine side of your chart. I'm telling you stuff really briefly. The masculine side, and along with Mars, the sun in anybody's chart, yours, mine, theirs, his, hers, will show you the energy of the person's father, the first male in their life or person that raised them, stepfather, and it will tell you, if you're a woman or a gay man, I guess, the type of man you will express. So you look to your sun and you look to your Mars to see the energy, and also the seventh house, but I can't go that far ahead. I'm jumping too far ahead. To see the energy of what type of person you're going to attract romantically. The moon in anybody's chart is our emotional expression. It is how we learn to express ourselves from our mother. The moon is feminine, our mother. And then it is the type of women and the way we will express ourselves if we are women. And it is the type of woman we will pick if we are a man, along with Venus. So you want to look to the moon and Venus to see what kind of girl you're going to date if you're a dude, and the aspects to it. But that, again, is getting a little bit ahead. The rising sign shows us what we're comfortable expressing ourselves as, meaning our rising sign and the way that we have it. So whatever your rising sign is going to show people how you are seen. Okay, so let's start at the beginning, which is always Aries, since we're in the sign of Aries right now. I mean, in the constellation of Aries. And I love me some Aries because Steve McQueen came to visit me, and I'm not even joking about that. That sounds ridiculous. But I was really excited because he's just so cute. And he was so like cool and funky and like amazing. And he had those boy freckles on his face. God, men with freckles, right? And those blue eyes and that like hair that he had, which was kind of sandy, but he was super cool and he was tough. All right, so let's skip that. I'll get over my crush on Steve McQueen. I just couldn't believe it. He just said, I heard the name Steve, and then I'm like, Steve who? And he goes, McQueen. I'm like, what planet am I on when this is happening? I'm on lockdown, but I'm talking to Steve McQueen, which no one's going to believe me because I'm in a lockdown in a first world country where I can't get toilet paper. So I was like, this is so weird. Anyway, okay, so if you are an Aries rising, you Aries risings out there, I am well. Thank you. I am very well. I hope everybody's well here tonight because we are all well. None of us are getting sick, and that's just the way it is because we are drinking our hot water. We are washing our hands because we're not stupid. We are putting citrus in our hot water, and we are putting a few drops of oregano oil in it. I'm like, what are we doing? That's what we're doing. Okay, so Aries Rising. Aries Rising comes onto the planet. This is all you people with Aries Risings. And of course, I have to give a shout out to my Jason, who is an Aries Rising, my little chirpy, my firstborn. Will beat the shit out of me when I call them chirpy. Anyway, I do use Western astrology. Yes, I do. I use Western tropical Placidus usually. Just the way I learned. I mean, you have to calculate everything because the Earth's moved off the axis, etc. And sidereal, I know when you look up, it's literally a sign back. And they're two different things, but they're absolutely amazing and both work. I just happen to learn Western. So I just stick with it. Okay, so Aries Rising comes onto the planet to be the first person in that family unit. So the child born with Aries Rising comes onto the planet into the family to be the first person to change the family dynamics by moving in their own direction. So they will be the child in the family that goes in a different direction. Okay, I think that's Deanne. Thank you, Deanne. Sometimes I see him, sometimes I don't. Don't take offense. I so freaking love you guys. I can't even say it. I have to just say I love you. Everybody, I love everybody. I'm just excited to do videos. I'm just excited I don't have this virus if it is really out there. So Aries Rising comes into the family. The birth of the child who is an Aries Rising is going to come into the family and basically take that family. You could have 4 people or 5 people, and then you have the Aries Rising child. The Aries Rising child is going to take the family's belief systems and direction and where the family wants to go in life, twist it up into a pretzel, flip you off, and go the opposite direction because they're on a new soul cycle. So they need to learn how to express themselves. Aries is a masculine, it's a cardinal masculine fire sign. It is one of the signs that takes action. It is male. Okay, and it is fiery. So you know what fire does? It burns the shit out of you. Masculine is bossy and male, like they're gonna own everything. So if you are a female with an Aries rising, you take on this masculine appearance. And in other words, you don't look masculine, but your behavior, you're not like helpless. You can take your own garbage out. You don't need a man. If you're a female, I'm talking about. So it is a cardinal of action to take action. Masculine, the expression is male. So the women are stronger. There are men with feminine signs. So the women are stronger with Aries. And the expression of Aries rising is to take the karma and take their soul path and move it in a different direction. Now, Aries, I'm going to tell you another secret with Aries rising, because when we see someone walk in a room, we see a person, we see their rising sign, okay? So that's why we say, oh, you look like a whatever. Well, I'm a Gemini, but you look like a Leo. Well, I'm a Leo rising. So it would make sense. And then planets in the first house are going to give you a little bit of, a different flavor, okay? So there's that kind of thing. So Aries rising, okay, women and men will often right here have a widow's peak, okay? So the hairline will go down like that. They will also, because Aries rules, I freaking love, Steve McQueen has a grandson who is an actor as well. I just love Steve McQueen. I'm going to have a love affair with a guy that's passed on off this planet because I can't possibly get into any trouble with that, right? I just can't. I can't get into any fights because he's an Aries. Love me some Aries. They love to fight. Okay, so sorry, I digress yet again. Aries rising, when they walk in a room, because they do rule the forehead. When you think of the Aries mascot, which is the ram, think of the ram's horns like this, and the ram lowers its head and it goes straight for you. So if you piss off a ram in the wild, they lower their head and they will head butt you into wherever, oblivion, right? So an Aries Rising person, you see that head pop in the room like this first. So you could be at a party, and if there's somebody coming in the room and you see like they creep around the door and you see the head pop in, you're like Aries Rising. They come in first, forehead first. Always banging their forehead, even when they're little. Steve McQueen was hot. All I can see is Steve McQueen. I've got a one-track mind. Oh my God. But Aries Rising, you'll see them go into a room head first. If they get into an accident, they can bang their head on the door. That's what's going to happen. It's so, okay. Why is this chat recycling content? I have no idea. Honestly, I don't. I need help. Somebody DM me out where the buttons are on the fucking YouTube channel, because I can't find it on my computer. I can't find it on my phone. I will throw the phone out the window, but I'm trying to refrain from that. So Aries Rising will walk into a room, and they'll walk into the room head first. So this is how you know. Aries Rising, because they are impatient. What is a fire sign? And especially Aries. It is freaking impatient. So they want to do things 5,000 times ahead, okay, first. So they will usually get married really young and first. They leave home really young and first. You can't really contain an Aries Rising unless, I guess, you use some kind of weird guilt on them, and I don't think they care, quite frankly. And here's something I want to describe about Aries, which people come to me all the time. People say you should have peace and love and be really open in your heart and all of these things. And this is true. However, Aries learns through aggression and anger. This is what they learn through, okay? They learn through this. You can't really say to somebody, oh, you shouldn't be angry. I hate when people freaking say that. It's like, this is how Aries progresses intellectually until they hit midlife and they're able to, okay, wait, I can't get sober. Wait, I can't get sober. Yes, you can. Give yourself 21 days. If you are sober, you can see. Stop hiding. You want to look. I have faith you can get sober, actually. I am sober now. That's your mantra. I am sober now. Okay, so Aries Rising is going to move and change their life through aggression. So when they get angry, this prompts them to take action. So that's your little Aries Rising in a brief nutshell. They are ruled by the planet of Mars, which will be going retrograde this year from like May until November, something like this. So watch out. If you have any planets in Aries, you're the one that's going to be affected on a certain level. Okay, next one is Taurus Rising, because from Aries and the new karmic cycle or expression in a different way, we have Taurus. Taurus, ruling planet is Venus, but I actually think the ruling planet is the Earth, and you can see the mess we're in right now. No offense, but you can see this mess we're in. This is the Earth's mess, and I believe that Taurus is the ruler of the Earth, and one of the rulers, Venus rules Taurus and Libra, the two love signs, but Taurus being the most sensual and grounded and earthy expression of it. Libra being the other octave. Taurus is grounded, so they say, but let's get into Taurus. So Taurus Rising comes here to learn through building of ideas, building of physical things, building of concepts, building of material wealth, building of cookies that they hide under their bed, building of sleeping bags so they can sleep everywhere they like to go. Don't yell at me, Taurus, you know you love to sleep. Building of sensual things that they enjoy, all of these things. But the karma of a Taurus Rising is very interesting. They came in karmically to build in this life. So wherever I'm sober, yes. I've been sober for freaking 30 years, if somebody's asking me that, more. And I didn't have a problem with it. I'm just a sober person. You know why? When you say crazy shit out in public, you really don't want to be drunk or high, because if you do, they're going to go, you're crazy, and they're going to discredit you. So I was all about not being discredited. So I have to remain articulate, somewhat sane, and not high as a kite. Although I'm not saying I'm against it. Anyway, if somebody asked me that, if you ask someone else that, I just butted into your conversation. So Taurus comes onto the planet to start a cycle of learning how to maneuver in the material world. Now I sound like Madonna, material girl, but that is very Taurian in energy. They come onto the planet to learn how to maneuver, which means to do the things that we do on Earth. We acquire, we build, we We continue to grow and develop. We have addictions that we like cashmere and chocolate and sex, all very Taurus. We do it ad nauseum. We're stubborn as hell. So Taurus is a feminine earth sign. Okay, so Taurus, it is fixed, it is feminine, and it's an earth sign. So it rules the earth. It has more of a feminine energy. So your men in the sign of Taurus are very good at caretaking. They are maternal. They will, I'll give you an example. A Taurus moon friend of mine, not Taurus rising, but Taurus moon friend, would cut the crust off my bread even when I was a grown-ass adult. If they were making me toast, they would cut the corners like your grandmother used to, and then make everything right and make sure everything is set. Taurus likes the aesthetics of building the energy. So if a Taurus rising person invites you for dinner, they will have a nice table setting. They will have nice dishes. They will have things that are like lovely to look at and smell and chocolate and taste. And they're very stubborn. So if you argue with them at dinner, you're kind of screwed because they're not backing down, and you'll probably end up walking out while you throw a plate at their head, because they will never, ever, ever back down from anything on the planet. They are so stubborn. Here's the story of Taurus that I love to tell. It was one of my favorite books, Ferdinand the Bull. Remember Ferdinand? He was this beautiful bull, and he was black and shiny, and he had these beautiful horns, and the matador in Spain was looking for him. The matador went out looking, and he saw this bull in the field. The bull was sitting there, and suddenly he's not in the middle of this because I did not put on airplane mode. So the bull, he starts to go crazy. His nostrils flare. His horns start to go up. He lowers his head, and he charges all around the field. The matador sees him and says, you are who I will fight. And he brings Ferdinand into the ring, and he waves his red coat at him, and Ferdinand just sits down and sees a flower, and he's like, fuck you, buddy, I'm going to smell a flower. Because in the field, he had been stung by a bee, that when the flower he was smelling, the bee came out and stung him in his nostril, and he reacted. But it took that kind of assault on him to get him to react. Taurus is not going to react. They're going to sit there in their stubbornness while they build their empire. However that is, they are amazing builders. So if you need to learn how to do something in life, you're going to find a Taurus rising, because immediately they can build the concept. Aries can come up with the idea, but the follow through isn't necessarily there. Aries will start the action. Taurus picks up where Aries left off, and Taurus will take that idea and start to build it. I hate the podestas. Yeah, where are those podestas? Where are they, right? Assholes. Okay, sorry, I digress. I saw Podesta and I saw red like a bull. And I'm like, what is that? Okay, so Taurus is a master builder, and they are ruled by the planet of Venus. This is where their sensuality comes through. Tauruses make great lovers, Taurus risings, because, not that I know. I'm not admitting if I know, I don't know, but Taurus moons do. I will say this. Taurus risings are sensual, so they like textured things. They will not go to Walmart and buy a t-shirt, not because it's Walmart, because it probably just feels like cotton to them, and they need to go and find something that really affects their senses. So Taurus is taste and touch and smell, and they're tactile. Your little Taurus rising kids, or kids with a predominant of Taurus in their chart, if you put something on them like a jersey or something and they don't like the feel of the material, good luck getting them out the door to school. That's never going to happen. And if you feed them a food where they don't like the texture, good luck getting them to eat, because that is never going to happen. Is it now? No. So Taurus rising they're very tactile. They're very sensual. They're actually really amazing at building. So your Taurus risings are like that. Now, what do they look like, these Taurus rising types? And you can tell them when they come in the room. So Taurus rising is probably going to be thicker around the neck here, even if they're female. They're going to have, it's not like a man's neck, but it's going to be a little bit thicker. They're going to have these beautiful eyelashes. This is how you will know, these eyelashes. They don't need fake eyelashes. They're just bat their lashes at you and you'll go right after them. And especially if they have chocolate coffee and they're good in bed, you're going right after them. Oh, I shouldn't say that, but that's true. They will have somewhat darker hair with lighter eyes. There's that kind of a look. But it depends what nationality you are, right? Like if you're Hispanic, it's one look. If you're Irish, it's another look. If you're wherever you're from, it's a different kind of look. So they're often, they're very beautiful to look at. So there's something that's very, you just want to reach out and like, touch them or something. But it's the shoulders and the neck, because Taurus is the throat area. So this is your throat chakra here. This is the throat area. This is where Taurus excels. And think of the bull. What is really developed? The front part of the bull. So all of them, male and female, have a stronger look for this part of the body. This is where they are. So Taurus, and they're stubborn. So you can't get them to budge. They're just going to put their little feet down, and you might as well just slap yourself in the head if you have a Taurus rising child, or Mars in Taurus, or Moon in Taurus. You can argue till hell freezes over, and it will never happen. Okay? You're not going to win. Okay, so then we go on to Gemini rising. And I want no hate mail for what I'm going to say. Gemini rising, okay, to me, is a mutable air sign. They rule communication. Their ruling planet is Mercury. Oh, I forgot to say Taurus's mascot is the bull. Gemini is the twins. They're ruled by the planet of Mercury. Okay, so they do this. No wonder it's so hard to focus. Gemini. Yeah, they got 16 different personalities. There, I'm going to get in trouble. All you people go, you don't like Geminis. I do like Geminis. Why? Because Rascal Pants is born on June 17th, my rascal, my Lila. She is a Gemini. I freaking love Geminis. I love her. She taught me to love Geminis. So when you have a child that comes out, in a certain time, you're like, oh, I love them. Just, you love them. You don't care. So it doesn't really matter. But Gemini is mutable. What does mutable mean? Mutable is changeable. So Gemini is changeable. So they change the direction of their thought. What is Mercury? Mercury, or mercurial, is movement. Look at Mercury in a jar. It's that liquid, like in the Terminator movie, that Mercury that was chasing the fast running guy. I can't think of his name. Not the Terminator, the other guy, the cop. Remember the cop? Shh. Okay. The Mercury is like that. So you saw that Mercury ball being thrown at him. He could hardly outrun it. That is the mind of a Gemini. They're here, they're there, they're everywhere. They're like, I want to learn this. I want to learn that. I want to do this. I want to do that. So Gemini is very changeable, but in a chart, it is the third house, and it rules communication. It also rules your neighborhood, and it rules your environment, your most immediate environment. So it gives you the power to learn about your immediate environment. Now, a Gemini rising has a certain look to them. They never shut the fuck up, okay? I could actually masquerade as a Gemini rising because I never shut the fuck up. But I'm not. However, they're like that. They talk, okay? So this is what they do. They communicate in any way they can. So if they are deaf, they're going, wait, can you hold up a chart so we can see and understand? I could if I wasn't on my phone. I could grab my computer. I can do that in a minute. So just hold on. Gemini is when you go from Aries, the idea and the action taken towards the idea. Then you go to Taurus, okay, the building of the idea. You go to Gemini, the third sign, the third house, is the expression of the idea and the communication of the idea. Okay, so Gemini is about communicating what they learn in their environment. So if they have a job, what is it they learn in their job? If they have a house, and let's say they're a stay-at-home mom, they will communicate about everything in their house. They make excellent people that answer your phones, put people through to where they need to go, coordinate, plan, execute, order a bunch of stuff online, book all your plane tickets, order 65 different dinners, multitask like a motherfucker. They can do all of this, okay? But okay, wait, where? She is going in chart order. Yeah, I am. I'm going in the natural wheel of the chart. Correct. The natural wheel, because the flow of signs, when you incarnate as a Gemini, you have already experienced your Aries, your Taurus, now you're a Gemini. So it's the concept energetically of learning expression. So Gemini rising is actually learning to communicate. And Gemini rising, you can tell these babies right away when they come out. They have these inquisitive little eyes that like dart around the room. So you're like, what the hell is that kid looking at? Kid just comes out, kid's like just born, and you're looking and their eyes are tracking you across the room, and then they're looking over there and they're looking over there. It's almost as if they want to just step out as a newborn baby and say, tell me what I want to know. They love to learn different languages. They love to do all of this. So Gemini is all about the communication. Now, with a Gemini rising, if you have any kind of learning disability where they can't understand things, maybe there's I don't know, a disconnect with that, and they have to learn how to communicate. So I'm just going to add this in. If you find somebody that has a North Node in Gemini, it's all about learning how to communicate. So it's kind of an interesting thing. Gemini, wherever it's placed in your chart, is just that. You're learning how to communicate in that area. Now, Gemini on the rising ascendant means you are hyper as hell. Everybody in your family is going to be going, just sit down and go to sleep. You're probably not going to sleep a lot. If you do, you're going to get up 4 times to speak something in the middle of the night. Geminis will be, they're like whirling dervishes. They just run around like this. So you can never stop them. On the go they are. My rascal pants, I never know what we're doing. I don't know what we're eating. I don't know where we're going. She tells me it's planned. I'm not sure. We could change midstream. I don't know. There's no grounding. So from action in Aries to grounding in Taurus, where everything is planned to build, you have Gemini that says, woo, let's go. I mean, Gemini could literally get up at 4 a.m. in the morning after going to bed at 2, pack their bags and be in like Russia by the next morning, and you wouldn't know what the hell hit you. And they could have 4 kids at home, leave you a note, kiss you on the cheek, and you'd be like, what the hell just happened? That's the fun of them. That's the honest to God fun of them. They are super fun. At the end of their lives, they really are articulate. Now, what I love about the Gemini risings is they have, like the Virgo risings, their counterpart that also is ruled by Mercury, just a focused part of the mind as opposed to a unfocused part of the mind, if you will. The Gemini risings, when you look at them, when they walk in a room, they tend to be slender up top, and they tend to have like your typical features, like your oval features, your oval eyes, and their eyes dart around like that. Dart around. So you will see the Gemini risings. They're interesting. You'll see them like flail into a room. They basically are, I would say, pretty moderately thin, unlike the Taurus that is like that, and unlike the Aries that's like barging in with their forehead. Gemini rules the shoulders and the lungs throughout here. So a lot of your Geminis, when their energy is blocked, have things like asthma, lung problems. If you have Gemini in a prominent place in your chart, anywhere like Jupiter in the 8th, don't smoke. You shouldn't smoke anyway. Do we not know this? Do we not know this? There's little skull and crossbones on your cigarette pack. Stop smoking. Okay, sorry. You got to stop smoking. Please stop smoking. But anyway, the lungs are what's ruled. So it's the upper part of the shoulders, this part down here. Also the wrists. And so Gemini that's the area of the body. So remember, as we're going from top to bottom on the body, we're moving through the astrology chart. We're also moving through the acupuncture points, and we are working through the chakra system, but I don't have time for that all tonight. Okay, so from Gemini, we go to Cancer. I need help to stop smoking. I could bitch slap you if I was close. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Read the label on the smoking carton that says death can occur from this with the little skull. I know skulls are cute, but that means like your death can occur from it. You can stop. You can stop. So when you look to the next sign, so after this communication has been brought forth, okay, so as the communication has been brought forth, the next step in the evolution of a person's soul is to nest with that information. Nest. So we go from communicating and learning ideas and processing and writing out our lists of things and buying our airplane tickets and doing our stuff. And then we go to nesting. Cancer is about nesting. Cancer is the part of the chart where it is midnight to morning. So your Cancers are basically your night owls. Okay. So, and they are a feminine, cardinal, freaking, stubborn as shit water sign. Okay. Your Cancer risings, like the before mentioned handsome hottie, Steve McQueen. Hi, I'm Steve. Steve who? McQueen. Oh my freaking God. Anyway, I'm like, that would never happen in my life. He had to be dead to come to me. That is so cool. I'm sorry, I'm just still tickled. I'm like tickled about that. But Cancer rising. Okay. Cancer rising, Cancer is ruled by the moon. So no matter what moon sign we're in, no matter what moon sign you're born with, your rising sign in Cancer is going to go batshit crazy every time there's a full moon, every time there's a new moon, and anything in between moon, and especially with eclipses moon. You have a body that is like the ocean. The water goes in and the water goes out. So you are affected by the lunar cycles. Even if you think you're an Aquarius and logical, if you have Cancer in your chart, you will be more emotional than other people. Cancer rising, now keep in mind, sorry, I'm moving around a lot today because I'm pretending to be a Gemini and flail all over. Cancer rising comes in karmically to learn how to cut the cords from emotional detachment and learn how to structure their life on their own. So they are the most abandoned, orphaned, basically a neglected sign of the zodiac. And I know people don't want to hear it because we're all taught Cancer is loving and nurturing, and it is. But the karma is around family. So they are the ones that are born in conflict with family, as in teenage mother, give the kid up for adoption. Family, fourth kid, no time to raise the kid. Life going along well, one of the parents dies, can't focus on the kid. Kid bad, ends up in jail, removed from family, that kind of thing. So Cancer risings are very freaking precarious. The moon rules them, so every time there's a little tinge of naughtiness with the moon, off goes Cancers, being bizarro. I love my Cancer risings. Had a little Cancer child. Love them. They are the moodiest, but they won't admit it. You're moody. They're not. You're the one with the problem. They're not. So Cancer on the ascendant means that you are learning how to express yourself because you have a fear of intimacy from being abandoned. That's basically it. Now, where Cancer can really excel, okay? They can really excel. They can excel because on a certain level, they don't believe in emotional connections. They want emotional connections. They want intimacy. They're always talking about, I want intimacy. I want to feel this. I want a connection. I want to breathe in your face. I want to, taste your breath on my mouth. They are like this, but if you bring this to them, they'll run the other way. They'll go the other way. They will run the hell out of the room. Look at a Cancer, the crab. Their mascot, I call it the mascot for the sign. The animal or symbol that pops in is a crab. Go out in the ocean and watch crabs. What do they do when they run around the ocean? Especially if you're in Florida, you can see them on the ocean. Oh yeah, we're not allowed on the ocean. All right, anyway, sea salt really heals, I'm just saying. So you can dunk your face in the water and probably cure germs, but who am I? I'm not a doctor, that's for sure. But Cancer rising, the Cancer crabs in the ocean, look at them. Their shell is on their back and they have those cute, they're like little sea spiders, right? So they go out there. And when you look under their shells, they have everything packed under there. They pick stuff up in the sea and they bring it into their home. Their home is on their back. Basically, they're gypsies of the zodiac. But they learn how to find family and they will just show up on your door because if you are their family and you don't know it, you're their family. They're going to show up on the door. Now, here's the way to tell a Cancer or a person with predominance of Cancer in their chart. Mars in Cancer with men, I've noticed this. Cancer moons, lots of planets in Cancer, Cancer rising, this is what will happen. You'll be at a party, as the aforementioned parties I described, and you will look around the room, and in will come somebody, and you'll be looking at them like straight on like this. And suddenly they turn sideways to avoid the direct energy connection, and they walk sideways out of the room. Cancer, sideways. They move in sideways, and sometimes they can be, what is that when your feet point out? Like ballerinas, their feet point out, they can be that. So they will come in sideways. So you start the conversation off looking in the eye in intimacy, and they turn their body to the side and then look back. That's Cancer. That's Cancer rising. Bill Cosby is a demented Cancer. Oh God, don't get me started on him. What if, well, I'm going to stop swearing. Anyway, Cancer rising will do that. They will come in the room sideways. And again, they are Stella. Oh God, I see that. I'm like, Stella. Sorry, Marlon Brando was in Aries and I freaking loved him. All right, I'm over it. He had a Pisces moon. That's why he was a fatty in a diaper at the end. Remember that, Pisces people with Pisces, you are big eaters, okay? Anyway, so Cancer is all about nesting. So what is Cancer's good at? Cancer, believe it or not, is very good at observing what the social trends are. They make excellent yeah, OJ Simpson. Boy, I have an OJ Simpson story. I'm going to tell at the end. I'm not telling it now. I really do have an OJ. I sound like a psychopath when I say these things, but I do. Okay, so Cancer, because they don't have a family, they focus on things that they can put under their shell to carry through their life that are familiar to them and become something they love, okay? Cancer understands social trends. They are amazing PR people. They are people who can see popular trends in a financial way. So you will see them working in money areas. They are excellent collectors. They can collect things like nobody's business. They can look at something at a swap meet that you and I could go in there and I might go, oh, that's an okay thing with frogs on it. I don't even really care, you know, whatever. They can look at it and go, no, that's going to be worth money because they understand social trends. And then they're like, boom, that's going to be worth money. I'm going to take it. And they're right. So they make great PR. They make great publicists. And they make absolutely fantastic human observers of the emotional nature of other people, which they take and tuck under their shell and they sneak off in another direction sideways to see if they can connect with that energy. Later on in life, all they want is family. So if they have friends, if they have people that they consider family, this is what they focus on. This is what they do. So Cancer rising grows up feeling abandoned for whatever reason. It has nothing to do with them. They come into a karmic cycle where it's all about learning what family is, okay? So it's the first time in the development of the soul of the person with the Cancer rising where they are being born to understand that blood is not thicker than water because their blood has abandoned them on some level, whether it be purposeful or not, and they move past that. And in the process of doing it, they begin to see that family are those that they get along with and they get along with them. And also the things they stuff under their, or in their they make great kleptos. They love to take shit. Seriously, it's like a quirky thing with Cancer. They freaking love to steal, all right? So when they're little kid Cancers, they're like, oh, look. They take it and they're gone. I love them though, Cancer rising. They're fantastic. Okay, so then from Cancer, okay, which is nesting and building and planting and doing all of those things, we go to what sign? My people, my flashy, loud, egotistical, obnoxious people. Okay, so we do this. We go to those people, the Leo people. Leo takes all of this inner work that's been done in the first quadrant of the astrology chart, and it brings the ego, the child ego, forward. So Leo is the first expression of the self. That is why we are obnoxious. The souls that come in and are Leo risings or Leo sun, moon, whatever, but I'm talking about the rising right now. So the Leo risings are the ones that come in to learn how to express the ego, and we will do it in a loud way. And I'm an understated Leo. I know y'all don't believe that. I'm loud, but I'm not as like flashy. You'll see a lot of people in, you know, like, I mean, half dressed, porn industry, all with the really pretty people. I'm very understated. I'm wearing a turtleneck, so you can thank me for that. Anyway, the Leo comes in to express the child ego state of development because Leo is ruled by the sun. Now, here's where I'm going to pull my godmother move on Leo. Leo's ruling planet is the sun. Nothing grows without the sun. So Leo rules everything. I'm sorry, my kids will like flip me off if they heard me say this. Leo literally rules everything because nothing on this planet grows without the energy of the sun. So what does a soul need to grow but the energy of the self, the ego, right? So the sense of self. So Leo is here on a journey to learn what self is, which means as the masculine fixed fire sign that they are, ruled by the sun, they usually have a disconnect from the first father figure in their life. So there is a loss of father. The more Leo, loss of father. The more Cancer, loss of family. Leo is loss of father on an emotional level, and so there is no grounding into what the Leo is. So the Leo often does not have a sense of self. So they flash it on up on the outside. They get nails, they put sparkly eyeshadow on, they wear hoochie boots and hoochie shorts, and they go out there and they go, I'm a Leo. But they're doing that because they don't have the sense of connection on an emotional level to the first male person in their life, father. So they do that. But keep in mind also, Leo rules the 5th house. It rules children. It rules gambling. If you have afflicted Leo planets, don't be a gambler because you'll lose. And it rules children. So Leo takes the expression of the ego and usually directs it towards children. So they make great people who do sports things, exercise things, teachers to children, that kind of thing. They are that kind of energy. Now, Leo in the chart, so the Leo rising, you want to know how they walk in a room? Loud and proud, even if they're not. They'll walk in the room and you notice a Leo, anybody, anything when they walk in a room because they have the sun's energy. So they are hot. And I don't mean necessarily good looking. I mean, the energy radiates hot. So you will turn because you feel the energy. That's a Leo. And I apologize for the more egotistical ones of us. We do rule the basic ego. That's what we do. Sorry, can't apologize. Because we pretty, okay, there, I'm sorry. I'm going to stop with the astrology ego shit now. But Leo is that. So Leo is always concerned, usually with children's rights. They are the creative urge. So your 5th house is also love affairs because the ego is not about marriage. It is about love affairs. It is also about the beginning of the creative expression. So Leo is about creating whatever has come before it with the Aries energy, the Taurus, the Gemini, and the Cancer. After nesting, we take those goods and we create with them. So Leo begins the creation of things. The beginning, the concept of a story. Thank you all for your super chats and your stickers. And I'm trying to be really focused and not hyper spastic. But Leo begins that. So when you're starting a creative project, that's the Leo expression in the chart. If you're starting to date somebody as opposed to marry them, that's the 5th house. So that is what it is. So from Leo, we go, oh, another Leo rising out there. Me too. You got to look for planets in your 1st house. See, I'm last degree of Leo rising. 29 degrees, 43 freaking seconds with a loaded 1st house of Virgo shit. So I do kind of act like a Virgo, a flashy Virgo, not a stay-at-home cleaning Virgo. Leo women and Leo men are much different. Remember, Leo is a masculine fire sign. Look at Leo's mascot. We're ruled by the sun and our mascot is the lion. So you will know a Leo rising, not a Leo sun, but a Leo rising, because people will comment on their hair, their lack of hair, the way they do their hair. I'm going to piss everybody off to high hell, but the president is a Leo rising, and what do people call him besides orange? They make fun of his hair. That's a Leo rising. The focus is on the hair, whether they have long hair, short hair, no hair, shaved hair, blue hair, it doesn't matter. It's on the focus of their hair, okay? So Leo rising is about hair. Okay, so there I said it. And our mascot is the lion. Oh, and I meant to say that. So in the jungle, when you watch Discovery Channel or, Nat Geo Channel, what are the lions doing? The male Leos are sitting there. They're like, oh, I'm so pretty. I'm a male Leo. And they're like really pretty. The females are like, fuck you. Stay at home. We girls, we're going to go out and hunt and fish and beat the shit out of those people trying to steal our hyenas. We're going to bring them home. We'll feed you. And you may have sex with us. But if you push it, all us girls are going to take off in our pride and not talk to you anymore, and you're going to come back begging for us. So the Leo men are not as aggressive as the Leo women. The Leo men like to be catered to like the lions in the jungle, and the Leo women want to go out and take down the dinner. We're the hunter-gatherers of the group because it's masculine. So we are like the Aries, like our Aries counterpart fire sign. We are that. We are that expression. So from that expression, we go to the 6th house. The 6th house is the house of work, the house of pets. It's the house of Virgo. Now, Virgo Rising will talk to you like they swallowed a dictionary, even if they're not that bright. You will look at them and go, what the hell are they saying? Because they will recite to you things and you'll be like, what is all this talk about? Virgo Rising It's mutable, right? Ruled by the planet of Mercury, and it is an earth sign. So in its mutable presence, it has a more grounded sense to it than its counterpart of Gemini, which is also ruled by Mercury. So it is the focused side of the mind, although it's not always focused. I love Virgo men. Virgo men teach you how to work out. They teach you how to eat properly. They're like those food Nazis. They're like, it must be organic and it must be this, and you must take a handful of vitamins. And they will teach you how to put yourself into amazing shape. Unless there's something else in the chart that's making them go AWOL and they've like gone crazy. But even if they make amazing drug addicts. I shouldn't be saying this, but here's why they make amazing drug addicts. Because they will take their vitamins, drink their milk, and eat their apples while they are high on drugs, which means the body has more of a chance of actually coming back. Seriously, my Virgo rising people in my life are like, yeah, when I was doing cocaine, you know, I used to eat apples on the way home and I would stop so I could eat my dinner. And then I would drink a glass of milk because milk is good for you. And I'm like, but you were snorting a shitload of cocaine up your nose. This is Virgo rising. It's true. And they are very, very good at cleaning. They're good seamstresses too. But let's look at them on a whole. Virgo is more of a feminine energy, actually. So the Virgo sign is more feminine. So they will take care of things. The Virgo rising, when you see them, okay, remember, Virgo's mascot is the woman in the field, and it's Virgo the Virgin. I call them Virgo the whore. Don't get mad at me. It's my joke. I'm an astrologer. I can make these clients that were in the sex industry, and most in the psychic industry all have predominance of Virgo in their chart, which is really interesting. So Virgo can learn how to compartmentalize the mind, focus on earthly details, money, or building, or research, and they can learn how to take that and they can focus their energy that way. Gemini can do it, but they won't stick to it. That's the difference. Your Virgo rising people are the ones you will see walk into a room. I've never been necessarily a fan of this style of dress, although I am wearing a turtleneck right now, so I'm going a little bit Virgo. But they're the ones that wear a lot of bows and ruffles. So you'll see these chicks come into the party and they've got like ruffles down here and they've got like bows in their hair, and you're like, is she trying to look like a 10-year-old? Don't be fooled by that, because underneath all of that, they got a bunch of garter belts and a G-string and some kind of toys in their purse, and you don't even know. Same with the men. They are kinky. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. They are kinky as shit. So Virgos make for really good partners if you want a little bit of spice, but they will never show you on the outside, because there is politeness and decorum with how they go out. But they make great dominatrix. They will step on you with their high-heeled shoes. I have some friends, Virgo rising. They're great in any kind of industry because they can take their work and they can work it without getting emotionally attached. That's the one thing with Virgo. Now, what I love about Virgo rising, okay, so when they walk in the room, much like the Gemini, their upper part of their body is very similar. It's thinner. The eyes are still bright because it's Mercury ruled, and they have a lot of facts. So if they are being threatened with you being too emotional or mushy with them, they're liable to open up their mouth and speak like they ate the dictionary. So when they are feeling like they're vulnerable, they'll start reciting facts to you about things, and you'll be like, no, I'm trying to tell you something different. I'm trying to tell you how I care. And they'll be like, well, you know, in the Webster's dictionary, the definition of, and they'll recite it for real. They have phenomenal memories. And here's the other thing. They are incredibly, Virgo in the chart and Virgo rising is incredibly psychic. The reason that I call it psychic is because it operates through its opposition of Pisces, but it doesn't have the addiction part of Pisces. So it can speak logically to you about what they feel without any kind of an emotional attachment to you thinking they're crazy. So they make amazing researchers. That's what I'm going to say about Virgo. So remember, Virgo rules the 6th house of work in the natural wheel of the zodiac. However, on the rising sign, it is intellectual, it is psychic, it is slutty, it is all of those things, male and female. They will hide behind things. They exercise. They tell you how to lift weights. They tell you how to eat vitamins. They tell you what to eat. They're the ones that if you walk in a room with somebody with a Virgo rising and you go, does my ass look fat in this? They'll say, yes, your ass does look fat in that. And you will have a nervous breakdown, but they will tell you the truth. So you don't go out with that skirt on that makes your ass look fat. That is Virgo. And Virgo rising, their appearances throughout life, they are neat and tidy. So they're the ones that like to hem their pants or iron their pants or wear those collars. They're not like sloppy, okay? They're not like that. That's it. So the Virgo rising walking in the room, look for a lot of ruffles. Look for that. Look for a jacket with like adornments if it's a guy. Look for shiny shoes with the Virgo. They got a thing with that. They got to have it looking, and look for the perfectionist tendencies. Now, from Virgo, I see Libra, Libra, Libra across there. From the expression of our work and our focus on our work on Virgo, okay? Then we go out to, I love Virgos. I know they are sexy, aren't they? Virgo men, think of Sean Connery when is in his young day. Like Virgo men are, you know, but they will often act like you have BO when they like you, they'll like turn their noses up at you. It's really funny. They don't want to admit it because it's mental, it's not emotional. So anyway, from there you go to Libra. Now Libra, so we go from Virgo, the work, the expression of the work, and we go to Libra. Libra is a sign that is then going to make all the effort and focus that we've done in the prior 6 houses, and it's going to take that and bring it out public. So Libra is about partnerships in every sense of the word. Does not matter what kind of partnership, marriage, friendship, family, school, work, whatever. It's about that. It is also about balance. Now, I know my Libra friends, they go around going, I'm balanced. I'm like, oh, no, you're not. Because Libra comes on to the planet in the middle of chaos. That is how they have their calm ability and exterior, because they are born, especially Libra rising, into a completely chaotic circumstance. It may not be theirs, or it could be around their birth or the parents, or there could have been a natural disaster, but they are learning about balance. Like Cancer is learning about family, they are learning about balance. Libra is ruled by the planet of Venus, so they want to look pretty. Your beauticians, your nail girls, your hairdressers, your eyebrow girls, your waxers, your anybody in the beauty business, anybody with lipsticks, anybody with makeup, anybody in plastic surgery, your artists in a higher octave. Define artwork like expensive artwork, the kind that I would never have. That kind, the very expensive artwork. These come under the category of Libra, the higher octaves of Venus, the appreciation of things that are beautiful. That is it. Whereas Taurus is about the appreciation of things that feel sensual to them. So on the ground versus in the air kind of thing. Libra has a very interesting thing. I'm live. I know my phone's going off. I'm going to turn that to airplane thing next time. I can't do everything all day. I'm just whatever. I pretend Gemini tonight. But Libra comes in to learn balance through their interactions. They often have an undercurrent of anger. If you find somebody with a Mars in Libra or a Moon in Libra, you're going to find a person that can be undercurrent of anger, but they will never show it. This is the problem with Libras when they go out there, because they don't want to reflect not being balanced, because they grew up not being balanced. So they want to reflect balance and beauty and effect. They're the ones that live in a completely insane house, but when you walk by the house on the outside, there's this beautiful picket fence around it, and there's these rose-colored glasses on, and there's sweet-smelling stuff coming from the kitchen like cookies, and there's beautiful flowers outside. They have eyes for beauty, and there's all of that. But inside, somebody's throwing a beer bottle at somebody while somebody's, smoking a cigarette on the couch in their underwear with their beer belly going like Al Bundy on the couch, okay? That's what's going on in the inside there. That's what's happening, okay? But so Libra has to learn balance. How does one learn balance? By not being balanced. So then they learn in life how to bring balance. This is how they see I'm sorry, beauty. They walk into a room and they see what is aesthetically correct. And this is what they like. This is what they like. Why are Geminis crazy? Because they're twins. There's two of them in there. Libras are absolutely some of the best people for diplomatic negotiations. They are so aware of what will send the mood into not being balanced that they absolutely know how to balance a situation. So if like there's a crazy gangbanger over here and a guy with a gun over here and a girlfriend over there and they're all screaming and like they're all drunk and high, the Libra person can come in and they're like, you know what? I see that you need this and I see that you need that, and they can kind of bring it together. So they make excellent diplomats. And I'm talking about in the sense of foreign countries, for real. So Libra rules the seventh house, and the seventh house is when we make our arrangements to move forward with the things that have come before us. So Libra is very, very indicative of setting partnerships into all kinds of things. It's also the house of marriage. So all you Libras want to partner up. Libra Rising. Now, how do you tell a Libra Rising when they walk in a room? This is how I describe it. They are, even if they're not classically beautiful, so they're not like Liz Taylor gorgeous or Brad Pitt beautiful or anything like that. And I think Brad Pitt might be a Libra Rising, if I remember correctly. They're not that kind of gorgeous, but something about them makes you literally go over to them and go, wow, you are beautiful, because they have the presence of beauty in their balance. So they're proportioned, even if they are not graceful is a beautiful word for that. They're proportioned. So even if they aren't technically, you know, on People magazine as the most beautiful person in the world, they're aesthetically correct to look at. That's how I would word it. So even if you get a person who works at the circus that has a beard and is a lady and is tattooed and they're a Libra Rising, you're going to find them aesthetically pleasing. They just have this demeanor. If you want somebody to actually soothe you, a Libra Rising would be the person. Now, on their negative side, they can be a little bit passive aggressive because they don't like to display their anger. So it comes out underneath the surface. Okay, so there's that. But they are Venus ruled. So they're very concerned with all things Venus. Love, romance, beauty. They want a nice home. They want a nice car. They want beautiful clothes. They want nice makeup. You know how that goes, right? And what is their mascot? Their mascot is the Lady of Justice and the scales. They're out of balance and she is blind. She's blind to the balance and she is blind to the justice because there is no justice. So it is in the communication that we reach the justice. Okay, so this is kind of how Libra is. Libra Risings, when they walk in a room at a party, okay, you will see them. They cannot help themselves. They will come in and they'll be like, hi, how are you? And you'll talk to them. And then they'll notice that maybe one of your buttons is undone. They'll secretly side up beside you, even if they don't know you. They'll wipe the crumbs off the side of your face. They'll button your little button. They'll go over to the food table and they'll straighten the flowers up so they look nice. This is what you'll find Libras doing. When they go into the bathroom, if there's like water all around the sink, they'll wipe it up and make sure it's left nice, and they'll spray some beautiful scent in there when they leave. They will fix your hair in the back of a car before you go out on a date or a second date for a night where you're all disheveled. If you run into a Libra, they'll come to your car, literally braid your hair and send you out the door. They're very, very eloquent in that way. So you will notice them at the party because they're the ones straightening up, but they haven't been hired to do this. They just walked in. So they can see it. They can just walk in and see it. That is their gift. They have this amazing gift to do this. So Libra is about making things appear to be balanced. Okay, so that is what I like about them. Libra is also the energy of, it's an air energy, it's cardinal. It is a sign of taking actions to further the communication, okay? They are the ones that will continue the conversation when the Scorpios have stabbed somebody, the Virgos have cussed them out for being too fucking stupid, the Libras have, you know, I don't know, thrown something at their head. The Geminis are just in another room. The Libra is the one that will step in and say, wait, I think we can handle this. I think we can do it. So they are amazing in that way, Libra. So it's all about that. It's about finding the balance, which doesn't exist in their early life. That's what it is. This is why it's important to them, how they talk and whom they talk to. So from Libra in the seventh house and the partnerships, Then we go to freaking Scorpio, okay? So we go to Scorpio. Scorpio rules the 8th house, and I can tell you all about Scorpio rising. Yes, Scorpio rising because I married one. I did. I think I may have done it twice actually, but I mean, it doesn't count the first time. That was a starter marriage. Sorry, that was irrelevant. The second one, definitely married a Scorpio rising that I thought was a Libra rising, but my astrologer friend, like 30 years ago, said to me, he is not Libra. That is Scorpio. And you know what? She's right, because we found the amended birth certificate where it had the time on it. And I was like, shit, I don't know why I didn't see it, but I should have seen it. Okay, so Scorpio rules the 8th house. Scorpio rising is a feminine water sign. Okay, Cancer is a water sign. What the hell, did I not mention Cancer was water? It just occurred to me. Duh. Scorpio is a feminine water sign. It's fixed, stubborn, like its opposition of Taurus. Fixed and fucking stubborn. Scorpio rules the undercurrent of communication that is underneath the surface and above the surface, but not overtly obvious in front of us, okay? So it rules, wait, and me and my booty are, oh, my boy toy are Scorpio. A Scorpio has a boy toy, a fuck boy, isn't that what we call them? Fuck boy. I just like saying shit like that. Okay, a Scorpio is popping up on here to say that they have a boy toy. How Scorpio of you? Okay, stop, Sloan, stop. Okay, but Scorpio is all about the metaphysical. Scorpio is about all things. It is about money. So you'll find a lot of Scorpios trying to get money because they're trying to get power. They're power mongers. They transcend different levels. So when you're looking at a Scorpio rising, you're looking at, let's see, Scorpios are not that bad. I'm not saying you're bad, as I laugh wickedly. Scorpios actually can be and can't be. It depends what else is in your chart, but they all have commonalities, and it depends how evolved they are. But they are the undercurrent of the metaphysical. They also come and they are the transformative sign. So Scorpio is a sign of extremes. They are extreme about things, okay? So Scorpio can go from this side to that side in 2 seconds. They got 2 seconds to light up the road, okay? So it's just like boom, 2 seconds. Scorpio's ruling planet is what? Is Pluto. Pluto in astrology. Oh, so all Scorpios, yeah, they're secretly jealous. Absolutely. I married one. Don't yell at me. I'm just saying. And pretty much I got a lot of Scorpio energy around me. Scorpio's ruling planet is Pluto. Pluto is the planet that takes you, how do I describe? I'm going to describe Pluto as a planet that takes you to such extremes that you don't think you're going to live, like natural disasters, tsunamis, childbirth, because it rules the reproductive, okay? Oh, Libra rules the kidneys. Virgo, I just lost my mind there. I forgot to say, Libra rules the kidneys, the balance scales, the kidneys in the belly. Virgo rules the bowels and the elimination of the body. So does Scorpio. Scorpio rules the reproductive area and not the breasts like Cancer. It's like grab my breasts, the Cancer breasts. No, Scorpio rules literally your reproductive organs, so male and female. The genital area, the sex drive, but it also is the undercurrent of energy, the things that we cannot see around us. Not that which is tangible, that which is metaphysical, that which is spiritual, that which is undercurrent and underground. As a result of their extremes, Scorpio, which is ruled by the little scorpion, you know those little desert scorpions that run around and pinch the living shit out of you? They pinch you. They pinch you. They're another sign that is a water sign that is afraid of emotion. So your Scorpio feels very comfortable ripping their clothes off and having sex with you, but as soon as you say I love you, they're gone. They're like that. They can't handle any kind of emotions, okay? That's because they are aware of the undercurrent and the power of the energy that exists below us, the undercurrent. So Scorpio has 3 representatives from my understanding of it, doing this for my whole life. The first representative of it is the scorpion. The basic thing, and I'll represent it by people in society. This is all Scorpio energy, all right? I must date Scorpio women. They're going to drop their clothes off for you. But if you tell them you love them and you want to marry them, they're going the other direction until they're comfortable with you and understand that you're not trying to consume them and control them. Same with the men. Okay, so Scorpio, underneath, the scorpion hides under rocks, knows the underbelly of the world. This is good. This is good for, oh my God, are they stalkers and private eyes? Absolutely. They're the people that can, they make good cops, they make good hitmen, they can do all of that. But the scorpion is your drug dealers, your pimps, the ones that command the underworld. From that, the people that hang out in bars, the people that do all of that stuff. From there, we go to the middle level of Scorpio, which is the gray lizard. The gray lizard sits on rocks in the desert and it observes everything but never says a word. And it sits there with its cute little face. It turns its head like this. It sees every damn thing and it moves out of the way of danger, but no one ever really goes after it. And it's observant. Scorpios are like hawks. They observe everything. They see stuff from miles away. I could walk into like oncoming traffic. If I'm with somebody with Scorpio, they're going to like pull me back before I even see the truck doesn't have the brakes working. I don't even care. I'm like, whatever. Scorpios are, yeah, they're controlling because they don't want you to control them. It's all about you controlling them, but it's the undercurrent of power that we don't speak about. Okay? It's that undercurrent that people don't know about because they don't want to acknowledge it. They just want to take it. So they want to take it. They also are aware of what is going on underneath. And if you try to control them in any way, they will block you like you have no idea. Now, Scorpio being the ruling sign of sex and all of that, sex and other people's money and metaphysics and death and taxes, basically. But Scorpio is very interesting because if they are emotionally wounded, and it happens to them because they're a water sign, if they are emotionally wounded, they can go without having sex like a camel can go without water for 10, 12 years at a time because they're not going to let you control them and you're not getting near them and you're not going to take their energy and express on an emotional level because they'll be out of control and then they can't control you. This is Scorpio in a nutshell. Now, the higher octave of Scorpio is somebody like, I'm going to use Gandhi as an example because there's very few of it on the planet. The higher octave of Scorpio is somebody that starts off as a person in the middle of a political war, a lawyer, a fighter, who then becomes a pacifist and then becomes a leader for world peace and the people, the plight of the people. The great phoenix to rise out of huge trauma in their life is Scorpio. They rise from the ashes like the phoenix and they are above the jealousy and above all of those things. They are spiritual. So that's far and few in between. Very few on this planet because let's face it, we're humans. So really the Scorpio people probably resonate somewhere between lizard and phoenix. Not everybody going to be a pimpo out there on the streets. Although I will say as a younger person, I loved my Scorpio energy. I loved it. I loved hanging out in the... I loved hanging out around the pimps and the bars and the strip clubs and all of that. That was like, that's very Scorpio energy. So you're going to look to see where Pluto is placed in your chart, where Scorpio is. But if you're a Scorpio rising, do you want to know how to tell one? Besides their penetrating hawk look at you, like they never smile with their eyes. Like Geminis are like this, smiling, and Sages are like happy, smiling Sages. Scorpio walks in a room, and even when they're like super excited, they're like this. So you're like, all right, do you like me? Do you want to kill me? What is that? You don't see these big vivacious looks on their face. So they're hidden because they want to know that it's safe emotionally for them to come out. Like the other water signs, they want to know that it's emotional, that they're okay with it, that you're not going to control them. It's all about control for them. So when a Scorpio rising walks in a party, here's how they walk in. They walk in the party. Okay, so first they got to make sure that it's a party they want to go to and a person they like and that no like secret enemies coming out of a corner. If the party's in a restaurant, the Scorpio rising will walk in, they'll look around the restaurant, they'll find an empty table, they'll find a wall, they'll find a chair close to the wall. They will sit down and turn their back to the wall so they have the view of the entire room. They do not want to be snuck up on and controlled. That is a Scorpio rising. They will sit with their back to the wall so you cannot get behind them and you cannot get at them, but they can see you and they can observe you and they can make a judgment about you and they can actually even maneuver the situation if they want to date you from across the room. They can do that. Yes, they can. That is the Scorpio energy. That's what they do. They also, it's the 8th house. It rules mediumship. It rules the work I do, the psychic mediumship. It actually is the house of that. The dead speak through the 8th house. The dead speak through the 8th house. So your Scorpio risings, your Scorpio moons, your Scorpio sun signs have that connection because it's their thing. 4 planets in the 8th house of Scorpio. Oh, Mary, Mary, Mary. What are you, a hitman or what? I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Scorpio sun. Now, keep in mind, because Scorpio energy is water, it's feminine, so they usually align with the mother energy. So they tend to be very connected to the mother energy, and there's a lot of karma between the person that is a Scorpio and the mother. So that karma has to be worked out. And they torture everybody they date with it because they will not show you their emotions. I'm just saying. All right. So, and that goes for Scorpio moon too. They clam up, although that's a Cancer thing. All right. So let's go on to the next sign. So from the undercurrent of energy that Scorpio sun, Aries moon, I pretty much married somebody like you, Aries sun, Scorpio rising, and Taurus moon. So yeah. Yep. Okay, so as I make a face like this and go, yeah, they're always on a spy mission, so they will spy on you 24/7. Like they make good, what is that, private detectives, because they notice everything, they keep everything in their brain, they keep lists and notes and mental pictures of everything. You don't know what you're dealing with them, right? Okay, wait. I can't even read that. My eyes are fried as I glint like this. Okay, so from Scorpio in the 8th house, we go to the expansion. What hides underneath becomes public and then is learned about, which is Sagittarius. Whoop, whoop, Sag. I love Sages. Mike Keithy is a Sag and Brad Pitt is a Sag on the same day as Mike Keithy. Yep. Sagittarius has the distinction of being ruled by the planet of Jupiter, which is amazing because the planet of Jupiter is the planet I look to in the chart when I'm looking to calculate when someone has passed. I look for Mercury and I look for Jupiter because Jupiter is the expansiveness. Now remember, Sagittarius can burn a candle at both ends, never sleep, eat nothing, party all night, get up and go running. I have a Sagittarius girlfriend for real. She happened to be a Scorpio moon though, but I have a Sagittarius girlfriend for real. I am not joking you. We would run a race at Mount Baldy, which goes up to 10,000 feet. I'd pick her up 4 in the morning so we could drive there. She'd get in the car, still drunk from the night before, reeking like booze, and beat me up the fucking trail. That's a Sagittarius burning the candle at both ends. It was hilarious. The 9th house in the chart, Sagittarius, is about learning and higher minded studies like university and college and your philosophies in life. What do you believe about the universe? Because Jupiter is universal. It is a far away, expansive, huge planet. Sagittarius has a huge energy. And who is their mascot? The centaur. The centaur is half man and half horse. So it's fictitious by nature. It takes its arrow and it shoots it up into the sky to the spiritual side from the ground. Sagittariuses are on a mission to learn about why they are alive. What is the purpose of this planet, this prison planet that I'm now calling hell? We are all in hell. We could possibly even be dead and not know it. And trying to like reconcile the fact that we were bad people and killed ourselves off. So we're here. This is what I think of this planet actually at this particular point in time. Like somebody has plugged us into hell. Anyway, Sagittarius are so inventive and so unique and so quirky weird that I really resonate with them. They are the masculine fire sign, but they are mutable. So Sagittarius takes that fire domination energy and makes it mutable. They could go to your house or they could go over there. They could go there or they could go there. I'm going to describe Sagittarius in one word. When you see a Sagittarius, you'll know them. When you see them at a party, and I'm talking in 2020, and a Sagittarius rising walks in, here's what you're going to see. You're going to see somebody that walks on the balls of their feet. So when they walk in, doesn't matter how big or tall they are, they step on the front of their feet. Okay, so they kind of tilt forward a bit and on their toes. So they're always on their toes. This is how you're going to see them. Then you're going to look at them, and they're going to look super cool. They're going to look beautiful. You're going to go to their dress, and it's going to be all normal except for those purple suspenders they're wearing. And you're like, who the fuck wears purple suspenders? Your Sagittarius man over there, he's got the purple suspenders. Or it's the person with the furry purse, or these weird little accents that are so unique and so strange. You're like, this is really fucking strange. And they're athletic. Sagittarius rising is athletic. As I mentioned, my little Aries friend Maya with her Gemini moon and her Sag rising. Who else do you meet? Random stranger, twice her age, on the side of a mountain, but I noticed she can exercise. And who else do you go off with? Some strange lady in the middle of the night to drive to Palm Springs to hike into hell. Sag rising. So that's exactly what they're like. They'll do anything for the adventure and the fun. They're about fun. And they are goofy. They're goofy. And because they're half horse, you really do have to watch them, because they're like bulls in china shops when they come bouncing through the house, when they come through it, because they will bang into things and do stuff because their head is in the cloud and their body is on the ground. Really is. They will teach you how to think outside of the box. They will not be put into a box. They will nod at you and they will tell you things that you want to hear, but doesn't mean that it has any relevance to what they're really thinking, because if they think they're going to run into conflict, they're just not going to deal with you, because it's about fun. Give you an example of my Keith. I love to give this because he's a Sag. He's not a Sag rising, but an example. When he was 10 or 12, maybe 12, the school called. He wasn't at school for like months on end. I don't know why they didn't call me sooner. Like, he was disappearing for classes. So I said to him, "Where'd you go?" He's like, "Oh, I was skateboarding. I was doing this. I was meeting these people in downtown LA. And I'm like, shit, you're supposed to be in school and no one told me. This is how psychic I wasn't. Okay, so the kid frazzled me, just frazzled me. But it was really funny, because then from that point on, he had a cell phone and I would call him. And one day I called him, I don't know, like 4 times. Now he blocks me when I do this. I'm on his block list. I'm his mother. I'm on his block list. But one time I called him when he was a kid, really 12. And I said, "Where are you?" Whatever. He finally said to me, "I'm going to tell you what you want to hear, so you stop calling. But it doesn't mean that that's what I'm doing." And I was like, wow, they will not be controlled. So they are in the stars. They are the spiritual world, and they are on the ground. So they are spiritual and they are grounded. They go between material and ethereal. So Sagittariuses often have a viewpoint. So when you're looking to raise your vibration, to see things in a different way, a way of seeing the world, a way of utilizing abilities, it is the Sagittarius that you'll go to, because they're the ones that can search, and they are constantly searching for meaning and information. They learn, they read. I like them. I just love Sages. I just love Sages. That's all I'm going to say. I just think they're the best. It's one of my favorite signs, actually. Aries and I fight because I'm a fellow fire sign, but Sages and I have great fun. We exercise and do fun things together. But they are about learning. They are that. They are mutable, so they can change their direction of thought. And again, since Jupiter is the ruling planet, Jupiter rules worlds beyond this world, as in death, the transition experience. So I believe in the chart of a person, when you're looking at a death chart or looking to see if somebody's going to pass, I actually believe that you're looking to see where Jupiter is, or what is being activated in the Sagittarius house, so that you can see where the person is elevating. Because to get off the planet is to follow the planet Jupiter, is to expand the mind. So your Sagittarius people are all about expanding their mind in whatever fashion they can. So I love them. And Keithy. Then we go from Sagittarius to the 10th house, Jupiter in the 2nd and 3rd. Jupiter in the 2nd is very lucky for money. Love Sagittarius. Love them. Especially little kid Sages. My Keith was like a wild little kid, always on a skateboard, always on a bike, would do exercise with me. Just you know, I could throw him in the car and drag him anywhere. But, you know, unlike the cancer kid couldn't really do that because we had to go, Keithy. I know, my Keithy, he's going to beat me up for that. I know, I love that kid. He was the best. Stella and Keith. I know, what if Keithy married a Stella? Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm getting Tourette's. I get way too wound up. This is my problem in school. I got way too wound up. So from the concept and thought and higher education, we go from Sagittarius to the 10th house of Capricorn. The 10th house of Capricorn is the highest part in the chart. It is the part of your expression where you put into action what it is you need to do for a career, your soul path, as opposed to the 6th house, the house of work. Both are houses of how you will earn money. One is work, the 6th house, and the other one is the 10th house, your career. This is your passion, hopefully. So the 10th house is ruled by what sign? Capricorn. And there's the Capricorn, are the greatest. As the Capricorns say, they are the fucking greatest, right? So again, you have an earth sign, you have a cardinal sign, you have a directive, a taking of action. But here's the thing with Capricorn, Capricorn rising and Capricorn moon. Talk about quirky. I like to call my Capricorn risings, and actually people with the predominance of Capricorn, I like to call them the cross-dressers of the zodiac. Please don't yell at me, Capricorn people, because they are so quirky that the underneath of their exterior seriousness is so different. So they are different. Capricorn's ruling planet is Saturn. Saturn, no, I love Capricorns. Everybody in my family has Capricorn energy, a lot of it. So they're all very quirky and peculiar. But Capricorn is ruled by basically the father or grandfather planet of Saturn. Saturn is karma. Karma is described as balancing actions at different times throughout lifetimes, rebalance, balance, corrective action, basically. So nobody likes Capricorns because it means we have to put in our work, and workaholics they are, like Virgo. They will work and work and work. Capricorn is the sign of, and look at their mascot, the sea goat. Now there's no such thing as a sea goat that I know of. So it starts off as a tiny speck, a thought in the ocean, underneath the ocean, by those little sea plants. And it's down there. And then it gets an idea, and it works, and it climbs, and it creates, and it builds, and it gets knocked down, and it gets pissed off, and it has like a serious daddy face on it. You know, like that face, like, what did you do? It has that serious face. And then it builds, and then suddenly it steps out of the sea. And as it steps out of the sea, it starts to look like a goat, like an Aries. Okay, so it's like a ram, but it's got a fishtail. So it needs both elements in order to achieve. So it climbs, and then it climbs, and it climbs to the highest point in the universe into which its achievement and its body of work has grown. So Capricorn is an amazing, amazing creator of a lifetime of building an ability on a soul path, okay? Now, they can be cranky. They can be childlike as they get older. Very serious. You can tell your Capricorn rising kids because they're freaking serious, okay? Serious. You look at a 5-year-old Capricorn and he'll have on like his glasses and he'll be reading the stock paper and he'll be like, so where do you work? He's 5 and you're like, go away. They're very serious. They want to climb. They're ruled by Saturn. Saturn comes in with a purpose. Saturn directs us to where we're going on a soul level. So Capricorns have that in their makeup, period. Capricorn will, as they get older, reinvent themselves 2 or 3 times into absolutely different people. Absolutely. They are always fatherly. They are always paternal. They are bossy and serious and quirky and cross-dressers and cross-dressers and cross-dressers. They got a kink side to them. I'm sorry. It's just from my experience. Oh, okay. So anyway, they just do. They just do. Okay, no, Sheldon reminds me of a Virgo, actually. Sheldon reminds me of a Virgo. Big Bang Theory, Sheldon, like his OCD and his like kind of autistic nature. That's more Virgo. I'm thinking. Capricorn, now Capricorn is interesting because when you get to that part of the chart, you are given the go-ahead in your life, okay? Let me see. They like to deny it. Yeah, they do. They do have kinks. Oh my God, they're a kink. I can't even tell you. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Yeah, I love them. I think they're awesome. Wait. Oh, Cancer and Scorpio. Sure. It's water signs. It's beautiful. Water signs go well together. Okay, so when we're looking at Capricorn, Capricorn, the 10th house, the top of the chart, okay? Basically, when we arrive, Capricorn has a body of knowledge and experience and work, and they pursue a career like nobody's business. So when you get to the 10th house in your chart, and Capricorn, it's the Capricorn house, you are ready to show the world who you are with all of the hard work that you've done. So wherever Capricorn is in your chart is how you will experience. I'll give you an example. My granddaughter has Capricorn moon, and so does my son. So my chirpy Jason has a Capricorn moon, and his Lila has Capricorn moon. So how does that affect the mother? Well, in my case, he's got Uranus and Neptune on the moon as well. So it's a psychic mother. But the Capricorn element is a mother who does her work as a mother, not overly touchy-feely, and makes the child work for affection. So that's like a Capricorn moon. It's like, I'm going to love you and I'm going to smother you, but you're also going to pick your clothes up, which he never did. You're also going to do your homework. So it's like kind of a type of mothering where you teach the child discipline on an emotional level. That's a Capricorn moon. Capricorn rising. You're going to know them when they walk into a party, unless something else in their chart changes it. But a Capricorn rising walks into a party. They don't want to go. Okay, they're going to tell you that. They're like, they're about the money, Capricorn. So like if you don't offer them money to go to the party or at least pay for their gas, maybe they're not going to go. But when they get to the party that they don't want to be at because you've made them leave their house where they were looking at whatever it was they were doing or practicing or working, they will walk in the room and they will sit in a corner, not really looking at anybody, thinking about their work until somebody comes up and says to them, so how's it going with your work? And then the life of the party begins and out comes the Capricorn and they will tell you their body of knowledge, which is extensive, okay? Wait, I'm fairly new. Oh my God, subscriber. Thank you, fairly new subscriber. They will do that at a party. So if you bring up their work, that's the best way to get them to open up. As they get older, they get absolutely infantile, okay? So the older the Capricorn gets, like 50s, 60s, 70s, the more immature they become because they age backwards. Like that movie with Brad Pitt. When they're little, they're like serious. They grow up in serious homes where they have to take responsibility. Your Capricorn risings are almost the same as having Saturn in the first house. They have been adults since they were born. So they are, yes, Benjamin Button, that movie. So little Capricorn risings are very, very adult, so adult. And it's usually due to some kind of like situation where they have to take care of the parents, feed the family. They're the little worker bees in the movie industry, all of that, okay? So they have that issue. So by the time they hit 50, they're like, you know what? I don't think I want to pay my bills. I think I'm going to take a road trip and just quit my job. And they do it and they have a great time. They become youthful and then they reinvent themselves into another career. And they continue to do that. So Capricorn is really quite an interesting sign, actually. And wherever it is in your chart is where you will feel emotionally disconnected, but you will work your hardest in that area in your chart. And they are still cross-dressers. That is my contention, and I'm sticking with it. Okay, so from Capricorn, we go to Aquarius. So we hit the 11th house. So let's see, I was told Capricorn moon is a rough one. Yeah, well, my kid would tell you that, my granddaughter too. But actually, we are teaching them damn discipline, those bad children. They don't need to be spoiled. That's a Capricorn moon. I was that mother. But my kid had, I said, Neptune and Uranus. So we had either a really mentally ill mother because she got crazy, disconnected, and Pisces energy in there, or he had a psychic mom, which he did. Anyway, it's very perfunctory. Capricorn is just like, what do we need to do to get the work done? That's the energy. Okay, but it is not good on the emotions or the rising, really, because it dulls the emotional connection. Okay, so from Capricorn, we go to Aquarius. Yay, Aquarius. We are now in Saturn in Aquarius. So the planet that rules Capricorn is now in the sign of Aquarius until May, when it goes retrograde. Again, I think, or December, somewhere. No, May, June, I think. Okay, so Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is one of my favorite signs, and their ruling planet absolutely is the most favorite one of mine. Sits in my first house. So I'm very Aquarian-like. Aquarius rules astrology. Uranus, its ruling planet, rules astrology. Uranus is an electrical current. If you were to take your finger and plug it into your light socket, that is Aquarius energy. Okay, so you never know what's going. Thank you for the heart. Oh my God. I love hearts because I'm a Leo. Leo rules the heart. I forgot to say that too. Oh, Capricorn. Shit. Sorry. I get so scattered. Capricorn rules the bones, the teeth, anything bones, the joints, the bones, the knees. Now, Aquarius, I'm just going to start it with this, rules the ankles. Okay, so Aquarius is the 11th house. Now, what happens when we put all our work into action and we've done everything we can do to be successful and amazing and all those things? We have dreams, we have goals, we have things that we want to accomplish. That is where Aquarius steps in. Aquarius is the far thinker. So the Aquarius is over here saying, you Capricorn are doing all this work. Me, Aquarius, I'm planning on going over there. So I'm going to do that. So I have insight 10 or 15 years ahead of my time. And I say stuff that make people think that I'm a nut job because I'm an Aquarius and I'm a little bit emotionally disconnected. So I say things because Aquarius is the opposite of Leo. Aquarius are what I call computer brains. Leo are all bombastic and expressive. Aquarius are up in the brain where they get their expression from insight that just hits them. So they are very psychic and they get little glimpses of insight like, oh my God, I should build a car that looks like this. And then they get it and everybody's like, that will never work. The telephone will never work. Telephone, 2 cans and a wire that go from over there to there. Not going to work. That's Aquarius, okay? So that's an Aquarius energy. When we get to the 11th house of the natural wheel of the zodiac, that is where we are time ready from all of the rest of the chart to help other people achieve what it is they need to do in life and our dreams and goals. That is Aquarius, but we have to put our mind to it. Aquarius is the humanitarian. They're the ones that think of things in the broader sense. Leo is a childlike state of that, okay? They're also a humanitarian, but it's coming from the child state down here. Aquarius is like, let me see what needs to be done in the world, and I shall go out there and do it. And the energy can go back and forth as it can with any sign. Now, the ruling planet Uranus, which I fucking love, wherever Uranus is where you are a nut, a kook, a crazy person, erratic, emotionally disconnected. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere, you're quirky. I love it. It's in my first house and I'm an astrologer. So that actually where you find Uranus is where sudden things happen, where you do things that other people don't understand, where you say, hi, I'm a psychic, where you say, you know, I live in a community with 4 husbands as opposed to 4 wives. Why is it always 4 wives? Why isn't it 4 husbands? I'm just asking. A polygamist community, okay, and the 4 husbands, that's Uranian, Aquarian. So Aquarius, when we get to the 11th house, is really interesting because they have a fluidity of the mind being, you know, mental, a capacity to think in a way that is electric. So electricity moves. It just moves like through wires. That's how Aquarius thinks. So you never really know where they are. They're everywhere but nowhere. And they bring ideas to the forefront. So they take those ideas, bring them down, put them into practical action. Aquarius's job actually is to recognize other people's energy and guide it. That's one of their jobs on life, not necessarily the Aquarius rising, but let's get to an Aquarius rising. Aquarius rising can be very standoffish. It can have an ego and be very standoffish at the same time. Now, they have no style sense, but all the style sense in the world. So their style sense is unique and quirky and ahead of its time. So when they walk into a party, you are like, what just walked in here? But that's kind of interesting. And I could see that happening if we weren't so restricted over here. I kind of like that. And in comes a new trend with Aquarius. Aquarius are trendsetters. They are the ones that bring up these ideas that nobody else wanted to touch. And suddenly we're all doing what they're doing. Aquarius can be very, very quirky, that if you affect them on an emotional nature, and they will argue because they are fixed. Okay, they're fixed, and they can argue in ways that I've never seen, with conversations I've never heard. And they can argue, and they are what I call shockosauruses. Now, what's a shockosaurus? Any amount of Aquarius in your chart, Aquarius rising especially, if they are not winning an argument, they will say something to fuck your head up in a way that you don't understand. Like, they will come in the room and say something like, something outlandish and crazy. Like, you could have a kid, the kid could walk in the house with the Aquarius energy, and they could say, this is your good, like, A+ student who goes to Sunday school on the weekend, but they have Aquarius. They're just trying to fuck with you because you piss them off. So they can walk in the room and they'll be like, I think I'm going to drop out of college. And you're like, but why? Because you're just falling right for it by going, why? And they'll be like, because I think I want to be like a gay porn star. And you'd be like, what? That's the kind of shit they say. They don't want to do that. They just want to shock you. They will do anything and everything to shock you. This is what they do. So they are the ones at the party that come in with the sense of style that you don't understand, and then they shock the crap out of you. They will say something that you're like, what? Like, and I can see an Aquarius in a party in a room full of people saying something like, yeah, I just dropped LSD on my way in the door. And you're like, what? It's that kind of thing, right? You're just like, what the hell just happened? They're the ones that, I had an Aquarius friend that I was a roommate with before I got married. And granted, he was a little bit, I think he was manic depressive in the serious sense, but I literally was driving in a car with him, his car. And when I got in the car, we were going to the bank. When I got in the car, I was probably like 20 at the time. And I didn't realize how Aquarius he was and how quirky. They have a hard time on the planet because they're ruled by the electricity that is around the planet and the energy that connects us all. So just think of like an electrical storm and the energy going like that. That's Aquarius. So I say to him, will you take me to the bank? Because at the time, I don't know where my car was. So he opens the door and there's no back seat, right? So I'm like, the front seat is in the back seat, but the back seat is missing. And I'm like, what happened? And he's like, well, I didn't like the way the car looked, so I built this one. That's Aquarius. I'm like, wow, he is a little bit off. But see, for him, the vision of what he saw was how he wanted it to be. And he put me where he wanted to sit. So he didn't want more than one person in his back seat. He didn't want them in the front seat and they had to sit in the back seats. So he took out the room for 4 other people, removed it and put one in the back so no one could sit beside him in the front. Aquarius, disconnection, keep your distance. That's how they are. They make great friends, though. They are friends with everybody. And they have this thing where they have to be friends. They always talk about friends. I want to be your friend. They're always their friends with their ex-girlfriends, boyfriends. I want to be this. I want to be that. This is very funny. So Aquarius is like that. But they are the ones that conceptualize ideas years ahead of their time and put them into electric movement. So they are the ones that come up with the telephone, this kind of thing. They do this. This is what they do. They come in with this sense of knowing from the electricity that crackles around them, and they put that into action. That's what they do. So that is Aquarius. And Aquarius is very friendly. They have friends in all walks of life, every walk of life. They go everywhere and they talk to everybody and everything. Wait, somebody said Uranus in the ninth. Well, that's wanting to learn about astrology. You should be an astrologer. You should take up astrology. Jupiter in Aquarius could be higher, other culture philosophies, like learning in other world type of philosophies. So Aquarius is that, and they love all of their friends. Their friends are their family. And they are quirky. I've said that. All right. So now on to the final sign of the zodiac. And we must applaud because those born under the sign of Pisces have gone through the other 11 signs. And they've come back as a Pisces. A Pisces is a person who accommodates the energies of every sign in the zodiac. That's why they seem a little bit delusional and crazy, and they go in and out of moods. They are a beautiful, beautiful water sign. Okay, so Pisces is a beautiful, very connected spiritually, and very connected delusionally to the world. So they don't want reality. So don't show them reality. Don't do that. It's not good for them. It'll send them into a tizzy. Because it is almost painful for them to be on the planet. They rule the 12th house. They rule past lives. When they are born, Pisces, they have huge, huge karma because they are ending a karmic cycle. They've done the whole wheel. They are now a Pisces. Pisces can appear like anything on any given day, and they live very much up in their heads, in delusion or illusion or whatever it is they're doing. So they live very much in their heads, and as such, it's very hard for them on earth. It's very, very hard. It's painful, it's uncomfortable, and they have a difficult time. I really love the sign of Pisces. I do. But it's very difficult, and they will self-medicate like nobody's business, and they will manipulate the shit out of you. It's one of the most manipulative signs because they have the knowledge of all the signs before them, so they know how to fuck with them. They will manipulate you not to like rob you or do something horrible. They will manipulate you so that you do not reveal the truth to them. That's a hard thing to say, but the more Pisces, loaded 12th house, Pisces moon, Pisces rising, they will do this in order so that they don't have to see the truth. If you show them the truth, they die inside. They don't want the truth. They live in the non-truth on the other side, or they wherever they live. They can't bear it. It's painful for them. They're like a live wire, and you touch them and they're like, oh my God, a burn victim. They're like this. They are super receptive to things, but they're usually very self-medicated in one way or another. Don't get mad at me, Pisces. They are the sign. When you look to the people with weight problems on the planet, don't yell at me either. I'm being serious. Pisces rising, Pisces moon, loaded 12th house. These are all your foodies. These are all your chub muffins, whatever. These are your people that eat a lot and have food issues. This is what happens, okay? They end up having a connection to food. It's Pisces, it's not Cancer. Cancer is more apt to be anorexic or food particular than it is Virgo, vegan or something like this, like very specific. Pisces is the one that basically will eat anything to stop from having to see reality. They make excellent drug addicts, and once they elevate out of their own prison, they can be very useful in so many different directions. They have this beautiful quality to them where they can see beauty in everything. They are of service on a soul level, so they are the reflection of the wounded in society. So when you're looking at a Pisces, they are reflecting what is wounded in our society. They see the people on the planet, those less than them, those that are broken, and they bring them in and they love them. In turn, they get abused for that, and Pisces has a problem with being a doormat. Don't yell at me again. This is their thing. They're very, very sensitive. So they use these tactics of not paying attention so they don't have to feel it. That is Pisces. Pisces is the fish into infinity. You know the fish, the two fishes, the Jesus fish, the Jesus fish. I think of a Seinfeld episode again. I'm sorry. I'm over it. It's an Elaine thing. I just did it. Okay, so the fish swim in circles around each other like this, one chasing its tail and all the way around. The connection of humanity to all things like this into infinity. So Pisces is basically the person who sees what is not looked at and loves it by risking seeing the reality of what they're loving. So it's a very interesting and very, I would say, almost Shakespearean sign because of how they operate on the planet. They have so much karma that they end up in situations where they could be jailed. They could go through like 40 years of drug addiction, run somebody over on the street, have children really young, end up in some weird ass circumstance. They are also the sign in the 12th house that understands your pain. So there's a lot of truth to that. They are empathic. If you feel something, they feel something. If you're drunk, they're drunk, meaning they don't have to drink. They feel your drunkenness. They are this way. So Pisces is very much that. When you've reached the 12th house, Neptune is their ruling planet. Thank you. I almost forgot to say that. Neptune rules illusions and delusions. So what do we need to clear from our psyche in order to be able to grow energetically on a soul level? What is the illusion that we hold up in front of us to avoid soul growth, aka Pisces? Pisces is the ending of lifetimes in certain cycles, and then it's done. That is a Pisces. Okay, so let's see. I can't even read that. Somebody's speaking to me in a different language there. Thank you for the different language. If it's good. If it's not good, I don't know. They say Jesus was a Pisces. I actually think he was a Virgo. Sorry, don't yell at me. I know we have calendar time, but I think Jesus was a Virgo. I'm going to be in huge trouble for saying that. It's not a religious slam. I really do think we don't know when he was born. Uranus in the 7th means you're more prone to the disillusionment of marriage. Uranus in the 5th, you could be adopted. Uranus in the 4th, you're just a weirdo. I'm sorry, in the 1st, you're just a weirdo. Uranus in the 2nd or the 10th, you make money through the pursuits of astrology or UFO type of things. I know I wonder if Jesus was 9/11 because of the mass ritual done on 9/11. I'm not supposed to say that, but I do think Jesus was a Virgo, and I'll tell you why. Sounds really weird. He wasn't fat, there's that, and he fed the masses. So he fed. That's why I'm thinking. Yeah, I could see Pisces too, actually. We're taught that. But there were only 4 different calendar things, so he could be a whole bunch of things, right? But anyway, I don't know. I just always, in my head, think he's a Virgo. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so here I go. I've got to end. Oh yeah, OJ story. I just caught that. Okay, so here's the OJ story. Do we want to hear the OJ story at the end of this long, drawn-out video? Okay, so when I first moved to California, and I did drink and do drugs and shit like that, and had a great time, and I was like, woohoo, party girl. I got hired on a movie called Beach Fever. My audition was in a bikini and heels. I got hired. I wish I could say that now. That wouldn't work so well at this time in my life, but at that time it worked. Anyway, I was hired. It was a Kato Kaelin movie at the time. You remember The House Guest of O.J. Simpson. It was a movie that he was in. The director and I we were scouting a location, and we got just shit-faced drunk, or I'll speak for myself. And we were looking for the location, and I took off for like 6 weeks like a maniac, drinking and partying and woo. I got fired, to say the least. Anyway, OJ was on that set. Jump ahead. I avoided that like a crazy person. Jump ahead to the O.J. Simpson trials, right? So there I am. I got little Keithy. It's always about the Keithy, how I know my world. I got little Keithy, and I'm going into Save-On. That doesn't exist down there now. It's something else. It might be Rite Aid. Anyway, I'm going down the street, and I go into the Save-On, and I walk in. This is in Burbank, mind you. I've come from the gym. Keith is like 2. I think I was getting him like a Bubba, a bottle or something, or a binky or whatever. I was going in there, so I look, and I see this woman, and I walk right over to her without realizing that I've seen her on TV. It's Marsha Clark, right? And I'm like, I know you. Where do I know you from? Okay, so it's Marsha Clark. Like, oh shit. Okay, forget it. I don't know you. I know of you. Let me not bother you anymore. Swear to you not, I walk out in the parking lot, and who's in the Mercedes in the parking lot? O.J. Simpson. And I'm like, holy shit, he's stalking Marsha Clark. So the next week, I'm at Full of Life for you guys in Burbank, right? If you guys know that. It's now out of business, but it was a health food store. I'm walking out of the store. I look, Mercedes, O.J. Simpson. I'm like, that's 2 times. Then I go to Sherman Oaks, and I'm with the whole family in the car. Little Jason, this is a couple of years later, or sometime when the trial's on. Little Jason's in the back seat. We're in the car. I'm going in to get something in the health food store, Full of Life. Not Full of Life, I'm sorry, Whole Foods. I'm going in there. I look in the parking lot when I get out fucking OJ Simpson in the car. I'm like, are you kidding me? Now I think I'm being stalked by OJ Simpson. My son opens out the window and screams like what he's on trial for. And I'm like, oh my God, duck, duck. We're gonna go. I don't know. He was just at every health food store and every Save-On in the Valley for the longest time. That creeped me out, and that is my OJ Simpson story, and I must stop talking because now I've lost my mind. I'm not the only one that saw OJ. Everybody saw OJ. Everybody. By the way, just speaking of OJ Simpson, remember the girlfriend he had that looked like Nicole Brown Simpson, the little blonde? The one, was it Christine or Kristen? Whatever, the one that met him. Okay, so when I channeled OJ Simpson, Nicole Brown Simpson, she told me that she sent that girl that looked, Christine, sent that girl that looked like her to OJ energetically. So she basically hijacked that woman's mindset is how she was saying it to me. And I don't know if she was just, that's exactly right. Sent her to OJ so that OJ could not kill the woman because of course it would be too obvious if you have two wives dying, right? And her friend. Sent that woman to her to basically, so Nicole was here, the woman was here. Nicole and the woman actually were doing that. She was getting even with OJ through that. And then suddenly that woman just left and disappeared at the end of it all. I do think he tried to murder her, but Nicole sent her. Oh my God. Okay, that's the end of my OJ story. I am going to stop talking because, you know, I'll be back, you guys. Okay, a bowl-shaped chart. I'll get into that later. I can't even think. Like, my eyes are like, I'm really trying to fix this stupid live chat, which is, I must not be bright enough. Really, I must not be. All right, you guys. So I want you homework tonight. Stella. Okay, I've got to stop. I have to stop. I love you guys so much. You have no idea. This is like really fun for me to talk because trust me, no one ever listens to me. Nobody. I've got no expression. Okay, no, Chloe is not OJ's daughter. I haven't even really looked. I have not looked into that. Her mama says it isn't, but you know, who knows with those Kardashians? I don't know. I could see it though. It's not like she doesn't resemble him. I never looked at it. Okay, so we need to know our sun, our moon, and our rising sign. Those are the first three things. Our expression and our karma. What are we coming in to learn as a soul group? Our moon, our emotions, how do we express ourselves? And our rising sign. What is the mask we wear to the world? That's what we need to do. So we need to get our birth certificates. We need to find out what time we're born. We need to find our drunk relatives and find out what they say just for our own amusement to see how far apart that is, and then go find our birth certificates. That's what we need to do. Okay, you guys, have a really good night, and I will see you soon. Mwah.